been kind of curious to know, how do you handle that type of situation? Do you keep her? Do you prevent her from going? How do you handle that? Um, I don't know. Like with one kid, my personal saying, I think that the mother should let the daughter go. That's she has to explain to the other daughter again. That's where it comes in at where you have to kind of like kick yourself in the behind because it's just like, man, you know, I put my kid in this situation. You can't fault the kid. You cannot let the kid go because her father wants to do this for her. It ain't her fault that you had a baby by a knucklehead. So it's just hard. It's one of those situations where it's just like, man, it sucks to be in that situation, but it's real. Like if you have kids by multiple people and one of them is, stepping up fully to the plate for his kid, and then you got the other dude or dudes that are not stepping up, like what do you do as a mother? What do you do? What's the fair scenario? What's the fair answer to this? How do you peacefully handle this? Again, do you prevent the daughter from going because her father wants to take her? So should she not be able to experience this because her sister's father, cannot afford to, take his daughter? Or would you ask your daughter's father, listen, can you kind of take both of them? Is that fair to ask? I don't know. Like, this is a sticky situation, and it's also a very sensitive topic because, again, when you're rearing kids and you have the multiple parents, what is the best solution? I mean, is it fair? Again, the kids did not ask to be in this situation, so you penalize the daughter and the father who's active in his daughter's life just to appease or to kind of be fair to the kid whose father is not in her life. But I would say let that kid go with her father and let him be a father. And for your other daughter that does not have the father in his life, you got to kind of explain to her, what's going on. And this is the time where you got to put your grown woman draws on and you got to break it down. I mean, it's just no other way because you can't go through life punishing the daughter whose father is trying to be active and take a proactive, role in his kid's life because, because of the choices that you made. Unfortunately, if some of us that are in that situation, again, big girl draws time. You got to put it on and be like, listen, okay, it's not fair, but it's like that sometimes. I'm sorry that, your father, he's not able to do this for you. And unfortunately, I can't afford to do it either. However, let's do something special, you and I. I'm not saying totally be cold and throw and pull the rug from up under the baby's feet. But at the same time, you cannot penalize the other daughter because the father is wanting to step up and do something special with his daughter and he has that type of relationship with his daughter, and the other kid, her father doesn't have that relationship. You can't penalize that you can't penalize that relationship. That's now you stepping over the boundaries. And I know us as mothers, we want to protect our kids and things of that nature, but this is a situation, unfortunately, that you can't protect her from because by protecting this one, you're hurting the other one. Hey, Boo. Hey, my Edra. Hey, Cole. Hey, Adrian. What do you guys think? So, again, the scenario is a mother. She has two daughters by two different men. One of the fathers, he wants to take his daughter to Disney World. The mother is saying no, he cannot take his daughter to Disneyland because the other daughter cannot go. So her father is not sending her, or the mother cannot afford to send the daughter. So she's saying, you know what? If both of them can't go, then neither one of them will go. I feel that that's not fair because let this man be a father and do what he's going to do with his daughter. Again, that's not his fault, nor is it his responsibility to take care of a kid that's not his if he doesn't want to. It's a difference if he offered to say, you know what, let me take both of the girls to Disney World. Then that's a different story. But if he chooses to just take his child, that's his right and that's his prerogative because it is his child. It's his child. So he does not have to take the other daughter because that's not his daughter. So let him participate. Let him be the man that he is to his responsibility. Again, if he decides to do this out the kindness of his heart for the other daughter, then by all means. But again, that's where it's time for us, like, man, listen, that's one of the decisions, and you got to kick yourself for, listen, hanging off the chandeliers and dropping it like it's hot, and having a baby by somebody that wasn't on the up and up. Again, I'm not saying penalize the baby that can't go, but you got to explain to her, because again, that was a decision that you made. You chose this dude, so you can't, get mad or come in between the relationship with this father. And a lot of times, again, we as mothers, because sometimes, just thinking about it, had I had a kid, two kids, that would be a situation that I would have, had to face. But I got one kid, so I don't know. But just thinking from a fair standpoint and just a logical, you know, standpoint, you can't do that, because again, that's her father. That's not the other girl's father. So you can't overstep. You overstepping your bounds now because out of being fair. But what was fair was, okay, you should have thought twice. So don't try to be fair now that the kids are here. And that's a lot of times dudes have this complaint. Like, moms, you try to take the fair approach and you try to divvy out how the fathers are going to be, but you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't tell this man how to be a father to his kids, especially if he's not doing anything wrong. He's not doing anything wrong. You don't like it because you're in the hot seat, because it's really your fault that the other daughter can't go because you chose wrong. Now, I know we don't like to hear that, but listen, y'all, we know some of us done had some kids by these dudes that just ain't much, okay? It is what it is. It ain't much, so you learn. Listen, you got to make the best of it, but at no time should you penalize the kid that you had a baby by the father, and he is on the up and up. He is stepping up to the plate and taking responsibility for his child. Let that man do that. Get out that man business. Get out of what he's trying to do, because you're trying to save face, or you're not trying to have this baby's feelings hurt. Yeah, well, the feelings, listen, we besides all those feelings being hurt, you got to have a real conversation with her, because this scenario is going to happen again. If he's a stand-up guy and he's in his daughter's life, it's going to be plenty more things that he's going to come and he's going to want to only do with his child. And you cannot deny him that right, or you can't deny that child that right to experience those things with her father, because she has a good father and the other kid doesn't have, such a stand-up father. Or maybe he's a good dude, he just can't afford Disneyland. So I'm not even going to say he's not a good father. He just can't afford it. Whatever the situation is, you can't penalize the man that's trying to step up to be the father. We have Black Kennedy. You saying facts? That's her problem as a mother, not the father. I went through the same things. I buy my daughter shoes and clothes, nice things, and her mom got upset because I didn't do for the other child. And that's so crazy, and I definitely hate to hear that, because again, that is so unfortunate. I mean, by you being a stand-up dude, it's not your responsibility to take care of all of her kids in the household. That's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is your seed. As I said, I mean, a man that's being in position, if he decided to, out the kindness of his heart, if he decided, you know what, I'm gonna take the other little girl because I know my daughter, she be wanting her sister to come along, whatever. Then that's your prerogative. You have the option to do that or not do that. It doesn't make you a bad dude if you don't do it. It doesn't make you a bad father if you only provide for your child, because that's your child and that's what you're supposed to do. Take care of your child. So right, wrong, or indifferent, I know a lot of moms, we can get rocks in our jaws about stuff like this. But again, you got to let these dudes be men. You got to let these dudes be fathers to their responsibility, because a lot of times situations like this will cause you as a mother to stand in the way and stand in the way of this man being in his child's life, because he don't want to hear your mouth because you got a problem with him taking care of only his kid. Guess what? he taking care of his responsibility. Them other kids, that's your responsibility. Or whoever else that you made the kids with, that's you guys' responsibility. Let him take care of his responsibility without him having to hear all of. Nobody want to hear all. Man, get his kids and do what he gonna do with his kids, and you got to figure out what you're gonna do with the other child or the other children. You got to figure that ish out. That's not his responsibility, nor is it his problem. And you should not be giving him flack about only doing things if he wants to buy his kid nice shoes and nice clothes and stuff. You should not penalize him for that. You shouldn't be talking crap about that because, again, it was your decision to go and have kids with somebody else that wasn't in position or not doing it, whatever the case is. It was your decision to have a kid by somebody that could not do all that. But don't penalize the kids. And if he's saying, listen, and don't let your other kids be wearing my daughter's stuff, you should respect that. Is it fair? Do you like it? Absolutely not. But again, you can't overstep the bounds because you don't like it. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just morally, you can question it and challenge it morally, but again, morally, all these kids, all these dudes, if we're gonna talk about morals, let's just throw them in, all over the place. But you can't dictate what you want to do and how you feel. You can't overthrow this father's, his values and what he desires to do and what he is doing for his kids. You can't overthrow that because you big mad. You just can't do that. Again, you got to figure out a way to help the other child or the other kids understand, because if it's especially if it's a young kid, they're going to be dealing with this for a long time because this dude ain't going nowhere. He's in his kid's life. So this is not going to be the first time that your child is going to be disappointed. So you got to make that kid understand, and you got to, as a mother, it's your job to deal with the other kid and try to lessen the blow as best as possible. But you got to handle that from your end. You can't interfere with what this father is trying to do. Black Kennedy, you're saying I love your perspective on this. No, I mean, thank you, Black Kennedy. But again, it's just it's the right things, because fathers have rights too. They have the same rights. It's just like sometimes it can get a little sticky in situations like this because people will be in their feelings. We in our feelings about certain things. Again, is it an uncomfortable situation to be in? Absolutely. Does any mother want to look their child in the face knowing that they about to be crying a whole weekend and all this other crap, dealing with all this? No, you don't want to deal with that. No, that's not an easy thing to deal with. But again, that's not that man's problem. That's your issue to deal with. That's up to you to figure out how to handle that with your kid or kids. That's your issue between you and your kids. But at no time do he have to divvy up what he doing or water down what he doing for his seed just so that you can make the rest of your kids feel comfortable. I have one, so I don't know the solution, but I know the solution is not having this dude water down what he's doing for his kids. And you, as the mother, you have to ensure that this father being in this kid's life does not create strain or tension between your kids, because sometimes it can. So the kid that has the father in his life, you got to talk to that kid and help them to understand. Listen, be thankful that your father is in your life. Help your sister, brothers understand. Help them out, but don't point blame at this kid. Hold on, caller. Hi, thank you for calling the J Spot. This is Jay speaking. State your name and where you're calling from.
It's sexy, simply.
No, no, no.
I know I don't sound sexy today.
Hi, E. How are you?
Horrible.
Woo, woo, woo.
Horrible.
Well, what are your thoughts on this, E? With the father, he has, he wants to take his kid to Disney World. The mom is, saying no, she can't go because, the other daughter can't go. What are your
I would,
thoughts on that?
I would say, if the father wants to take his biological child to Disney World, and there's other children in the household, I would ask him, let me work it out where I can afford to take the other children too. So everybody can go because me having multiple children, and then they do have, the different fathers, whatever. I would feel horrible for my children that, you know, one can go and the other ones can't go. So no, I don't like the whole division thing when it comes to children and stuff. And then as a man, I get that. Okay, you provide this. You only have the one child by this person. You shouldn't have to take care of the other children. But why would you want to make the children feel any less than what they are? That it's bad enough they come. That it's a split up family and stuff. It's bad enough that there are other people in this situation besides just being one father and one mother. So now the children have to kind of suffer because you and your feelings, in a sense. I've seen it where I have a friend. We have the same birthday. Matter of fact, she has three boys, and they all have three different fathers. But when the oldest one, I think is the oldest one's father, oldest one has a family reunion, he takes all three of the boys. And though they're not his children, and when he gets for one, he gets for all of them. He doesn't divide and say, well, this is my child. I'm only going to take care of my child. No. If you do for one, do for all of them. They may not be yours, but they don't have nothing to do with that. Because, and especially when something happens to you, you don't want just your child taking care of you. Hell, especially your child may be the bastard child. You may want that nice child that ain't yours, but they always been the good child to take care of you. So don't split up the household because this is not your child. Do for all of them.
Right, but I mean, and I understand that, but let me play devil's advocate because, again, what if he can't afford to do all that for all the kids? Should he not give his child the best life thing? I mean, he could be in a position where he's like, man, I want my kid to experience all the things that I never got a chance to do, in life. So this is nothing about being personal or being petty. He's just trying to make sure his kid live the best life, especially consider the circumstances. So is that wrong of him?
No, that's not wrong of him. But if that's the case, honestly, if that's the case, they do want that, then Disney World, okay, then still talk to the mother and say, listen, I know you have multiple children and I only have the one by you and I want to take my one to Disney World. And she gonna say, well, dang, what about the other children? Then he should say, let's figure out a time and date. And you come up with so much money, and I may help out so that everybody can go. But to just pull, especially Disney World, you don't pull children, separate children and stuff. They take that personal, and then when they come home, this child and got all this stuff and this and the other, and had all these good times at this place, and the other ones feel like crap. That really messed up the self-esteem of those other children. That messed them up.
But
really
you know
bad.
what I would say, I would think, like, in that situation, like, if he did, again, because that's him, if she can, so what if the mother can't? And this is just one situation as far as Disney World. But if it's a young kid, then this is stuff, this is going to come up, more and more down the line. He's going to want to do things with his kid. So should he always have to keep her other kids in his, in his thoughts when he's planning on doing things for his kid?
Then I wouldn't even say, if it was me and if I was that guy, I wouldn't just say, I'm going to take my child to Disney World. I would say, you know what, I'm coming to get.
Right, and that's what I was just gonna say. I'm gonna just come and get her, and I'm gonna have a talk with my daughter and tell her, the things that we do. Let's just keep this between us because we don't want your brothers and sisters to feel bad because I'm not trying to. Because again, I come from a big family, so you see in kids, you as an adult, you process it different than you do as a kid. But one thing I just appreciate honesty, like, people, listen, this ain't, I don't have to do this. If I choose to, I can, and I will when I can, but I'm not going to not do for my baby because I can't afford to do for all of the kids. And again, you do have some people that are spiteful, but again, if you're dealing with spiteful people, do you really want your kids to be in that type of situation? So it just depends on, what it is. Hey mom, my mother is saying she can't see me. I'm not sure why you can't see me, mom. Hey
Because you're
mom.
not looking at the you're not looking at the Facebook one. Let's look at the Facebook
Oh,
one.
hey everybody. But guys, listen, again, you have to do what is best for you. And I'm just trying to play, both ends to get you guys to see both angles of a scenario like that because this is real. It's real life. People are dealing with this every day. Kids are being messed up, families are being torn apart because people are not communicating properly.
I
So
see.
it's just like at the end of the day, I think that do what's best for the kids, all of the kids. Take your personal feelings out and
That's the thing. They have
things
to.
of
They
that
have to
nature.
take
Take
that.
your personal
They,
feelings out,
you do.
and that could be for, again, for the mother, because again, I can see as a mother, I would be upset. Don't come over here trying to take this one. But then, like I say, on the flip side, I'm like, you know what? Listen, and I have a conversation with the daughter or the kid that got the parent that's in the life and that's, doing those things. Listen, do not go, taunting and teasing your brothers and sisters because, they father is not able to do it, or I'm not able to do the things
No.
that you and your
Yeah.
father are able to do. So be thankful and, don't brag and boast because, some could happen where then you will be in a situation where you were in their shoes. So you don't want to hurt. So I know it would take a lot of work to keep the
But see,
peace.
I've been in that situation where, and I was very thankful that, you know, when my ex husband did for one, he did for all. He didn't just do for one. Even when he comes and gets our youngest, he doesn't just come and get the youngest. He comes and get the other boy too. The oldest, whatever. They all go and spend the weekend together, whatever. He does is separate. But I also think too, it's how that relationship ended.
Right.
It's how that relationship was too. If like I know someone who their marriage ended really bad where the woman cheated a few times and got pregnant during the marriage, whatever, during by someone else, and then got pregnant again. So they ended up being divorced. And so when the guy gets his child, he gets his child. He doesn't get the other children. He gets his child, and unfortunately, all that stuff kind of falls on the woman because how it would. And I think that if it would have ended properly, the marriage just took its course, it just ended or whatever. You met somebody new, you got pregnant. I think that he would, if he getting his one child, I think that he would get the other children because most guys wouldn't just do for one, depending on how it ended or depending
Right.
on how the relationship was.
Right, I totally
But
agree. But like I said again, it's just it depends just on that man,
hmm
himself. And it's like at the end of the day though, I'm like, if he chose, to just only take care of his kid,
hmm
he he's
he's
not
not
wrong.
wrong because that's
Morally,
his child.
morally it's like, okay, just put yourself in that kid's shoes. What would you,
Yeah, yeah.
how would you feel? It's that type of situation. But it's like at the end of the day,
Yeah.
he's not wrong. We have Black Kennedy saying the best way to protect your children, give them the truth. Charles
Yeah.
Anderson is saying that's just too bad because it's not his problems. Feelings or not, this is personal. You can't make that man take care of the others. It is real. Everybody's not gonna pay for
Mm,
somebody else's children, but it's
yeah.
still gonna be a problem. And this is coming from men. So again, I totally get it, and I totally understand, and I totally believe that the key to this is definitely communication, effective communication, to do as again, to do what's best for all of the kids involved. Because I mean, even though this is just your child, again, you got to think about your child is living in a household with his
Exactly.
siblings, and you don't want
Mhm.
to create unnecessary friction between the
Mhm.
kids. So it's a very sensitive situation. It's a very sensitive topic, but handle it with that approach, looking at it from the standpoint of what is best for the children. Guys, we're going to take a short musical break. And when we
Sure.
return, we're going to get into our next hot topic. You're listening to the J Spot,
J-Spot,
where we are strengthening relationships
relationships
and
and
families,
family.
one conversation at a time.
So you wanna be loved by me? Hello, my name is MCB. Brainstorm, hoping that you would come back home. I called me on the telephone, cause I'm so alone. Walked around the house thinking of you. See, me and you, hand in hand, is how we used to be. The happy days, the times we shared. Without you, baby, it's so damn weird. Please forgive the things that I've done to you. I know I did a few, but baby, I'm human too. I'll take you to the beach where the wind blows and let the waves in the sand run through your toes. Whatever you want, whatever you need, I'll plant the seed. But do you agree? I should deal with that you have another man, but I can't understand. You're still wearing a wedding band. I'll just chill and think about the whole thing in the morning. So I guess I'll keep it. Brainstorming, want to get your feelings hurt. So you wanna be loved by me? Hello, my name is MCB. Brainstorming, want to get your feelings hurt. So you wanna be loved by me? Hello, my name is MCB. Now it's daylight, the sun's bright, my mind is clear. I can smell the breakfast that you used to cook, my dear. Some cold water on my face so I can come to me and realize it's me. My mind is not at ease since you've been gone. Please come back, cause I'm so alone. P.S. Yeah. You know, been looking for you for the longest, ever since you left. But now, I'm real independent, you know, just laid back chilling. But I wanna let you know you really thought about every night, every day. So, I came up with these words, and had Boys to Men sing them to you in the background, you know what I'm saying? But I really want you back, so come back as soon as possible, cause I love you. Brainstorming, want to get your feelings hurt. So you wanna be loved by me? Hello, my name is MCB. Brainstorming, want to get your feelings hurt. So you wanna be loved by me? Hello, my name is MCB. Brainstorming, want to get your feelings hurt. Yeah, you know. Brainstorming, want to get your feelings hurt. Want to get your feelings hurt. Do you wanna be loved by me? Hello, my name is MCD. Brainstorming, sincere. Want to get your feelings hurt. So you
Deal
wanna
with
be
that.
loved by me?
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. Woohoo! And sitting next to me, It's me. You guys, E is out. She is not feeling well tonight, but she'll probably tune back in via the telephone shortly. So, guys, thank you so much. Please go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Also, follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also, follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Guys, this portion of the J Spot is being brought to you by Product Max Herbal Toothpaste. Product Max is a new herbal toothpaste company that believes in old fashioned values. Just as our ancestors did, we believe all natural healing properties come from Mother Earth. So go to their page, www.productmax.com, to place your order for a tube of their wonderful toothpaste. You guys compare it to the national leading brand. I promise you, and give them your feedback on the toothpaste. I promise you, it's unlike anything else on the market that you have experienced, and it leaves your teeth even feeling better than when you leave from the dentist. So again, order a tube today and use reference code J, and that's Jaye. If you're looking to advertise your business, product, or services with the J Spot, definitely send us an email to jspotradio@gmail.com. Again, that's jspotradio@gmail.com, and J is spelled Jaye. Next scenario, guys, now this is some bull junk right here. And I've actually been in a situation like this. So I'm going to read you what we got going on here with this particular scenario. So it comes the hot topic is the guy, he was dating this woman for 2 years. They're in a committed relationship and they were talking about moving in together. And he stated that, he loves her, but he thinks that, she's, jealous, that she can be jealous at times. And she recently made a comment that kind of like shook him. He like, woo, okay, I didn't really know that you get down like that. And so she told him that his wife passed away, and he still had pictures of his late wife around the house. So now he's discussing moving in with the new woman. Again, he got pictures of him and his late wife and their family all around the house. So she asked him to remove all the pictures of him and the late wife, out of the public areas. She said she didn't mind the pictures being in the children's room, but if they're going to move in together, she didn't want the pictures of the late wife up. So he says that he don't think that he will ever remove any of the pictures of his children's mother, the late wife, out of respect for, his kids. So he's asking, is it wrong? Is she insecure and is she wrong for asking him to remove the pictures from the wall? Woo! That's some bull junk right there. But I'm gonna get my opinion later. But what do you all think? So the man, he's asking his girl to move in. He said he really love her. They've been in a relationship, committed relationship for 2 years. So he wants her to move in. But he has pictures of the late wife around the house, and she's asking that upon her moving in, she's asking that those pictures be removed, and that, she doesn't have a problem with the pictures staying in the kids' room. But as far as the public areas of the house, she would like those pictures removed. Is he wrong for refusing to remove those pictures? And is she wrong and insecure for even asking him to move those pictures? What are y'all thoughts on that? Monica, my cyber co-host. Hey, Monica. Hey, E. They're both holding me down from behind the scenes, so they're definitely on the Facebook Live. Monica, you're saying, oh, hecky no. Oh, hecky no, what? So who's wrong? How you doing, Gretchen? Listen, I was innocent. Okay, I'm with the woman, and I don't feel like it has anything to do with being insecure. But if you're asking me to move in, we're supposed to be moving forward and starting over. I really don't know how I'm going to feel waking up every morning, with, the pictures of you in your old life, all around our living space. So what are you going to, so if we get married, so are you going to put our wedding picture next to your wedding picture of your late wife? I mean, I'm not saying dispose of the pictures, but what I'm saying is, if you're asking a woman to move in with you, then, that's kind of, she has to be comfortable there as well. So I mean, she's not saying take them down out of the kids room, but what she's saying is, okay, what is this about us? I'm gonna want to move into a whole different house if we just want to really get technical with it. I'm gonna want to move somewhere else, to be honest with you, so that we can start fresh. I don't think I would want to move into a house that you share with your ex-wife, your late wife, or something like that. So I'm just gonna be real extra with it. We're gonna start over. So upon us starting over, fresh memories, fresh things of that nature. Cole, you're saying, Edra, you're saying, yes, she is wrong because she should allow him to remove it when he's ready. Well, ask me to move in with you when you ready to take them pictures off the wall. Then we talk about moving in, because I'm not gonna be able to do it. Latoya, you're saying simple. I would not be moving in. He can keep her pictures up, but I won't be visiting nor sleeping there. Listen, Latoya, I am with you, because here's the thing. You asked me to move in. So if you ask me to move in, do I have to accept this? Listen, I swear, I was in a situation like this where I was dating. We were not moving in, I hadn't moved in with him or whatever, but we were dating and we were pretty serious. And he had pictures up of him and his fiance, which she had passed away. And I'm like, okay, I knew about her, before he and I had gotten together. So, like, I never said anything in the beginning because I, wanted him to definitely go through the grieving process and things of that nature. But it's just like, okay, years down the line, and we're getting serious, and we are serious. I'm just like, okay, I got tired of coming and seeing their picture up. I'm just like, okay, because every time he saw the picture, it's like he goes back into this place, where he's now moping around and he's hurt and all this other stuff. Hold on, guys. You're calling the J Spot. This is Jay speaking. Thank you for calling. State your name and where you're calling from.
Sexiness from the bed.
Hey, sexiness. Guys, this is E joining me over the phone. So listen, E. So now see this bull junk you talking. I'm not gonna take it
Yes,
easy.
because okay, I have a client who is going through like a similar situation. His wife died, and when I tell you this man loved his wife, oh my God, adored her. So he just recently started seeing somebody pictures all over the house of him and his wife, the made for forever. But for me, if it was I, and and he asked me to move in with him, I would let the picture stay, because if you love her that much, then I can imagine how time would be and your love for me would be. And so if something were to happen to me, I know how you would feel about me, because I see how you loved the first wife. So I would
Oh,
let
that
that.
is
It wouldn't phase me.
beautiful.
It wouldn't phase me one bit. I would be like, yeah, I would move in. And I would be like, wow, that's such a beautiful relationship, because he hasn't taken those pictures down. Most people, when their relationship ends, you take the pictures down, or I cut myself out
I'm
of it.
burning up.
Burning. But man, this person, his wife passed. It's not like they divorced and he's still hung up on his wife. She died. So why not be okay with, yeah, this is pictures of his wife. It's okay. She ain't coming back. That's
But
one thing for sure. She
but
ain't
the
coming back.
thing is, but he's still not over it. And my thing
He's
is
not,
this,
because she must have left a great impression on him.
and I
But he
have to let
loved
her
you
I
enough
right. And
to
so
ask you to move him in with him. He ain't gonna let
her
you just move in.
right. So I will have to let her continue to leave that impression on him, because what about my impression? And again, we have to, this is supposed to be a new start. I understand that she passed away. I mean, it's like, if you want to talk about her, I don't have, from time to time, I have no problem with that. But what I'm not about to do is sit up, because where is my space? Where do we start? I understand your undying love for her, but what about your undying love and your allegiance to me? Because I would expect, like, I would want, if I pass away and my husband, he moves on, I want you to move on, and I want you to love her like you loved me, but I don't want you to still stay hooked on me and I'm not here anymore. I appreciate the love that we had, and you were there with me until death did us part. So now I'm no longer here. You gotta go on.
Then as a new girlfriend, then you express that to him. Listen, baby, I want to move in with you, but can you take down some of the pictures and I wouldn't say
She
all
did
of them.
ask. She did ask that, but she
And he
said,
said no, right?
right. And he said that, he didn't know that she would think like that. She said she didn't mind the pictures being in the kids' room and all. She
But
don't
see,
mind all that. She
he
didn't even
wants it
ask
out
for
in
him.
public.
Right. She didn't even ask for him to throw him away, because some people be like, throw the pitch. I wouldn't ask for you to throw him away. I'm like, just respect the fact that we're starting something new. Like, respect what we have. Just like you respected what you had with her. Respect. I want the same honor. I want the same love. I want the same dedication, because I'm here. I understand that she's no longer here. I'm not trying to, it's not a competition thing. It's not any of that, but I'm in your life now. Like, that's just like if a dude, me, I'm like, I don't like holding on to old stuff from relationships, because it to me it's baggage. I don't
But
care
this is
how,
the difference. It was a death. That's the difference.
but he's
The
still not over
relationship
it.
didn't end like that, naturally or whatever. It ended unexpectedly. Someone died. So if he probably still in his grief, he misses his wife. Yeah, he got a
Mm-hmm.
new relationship. Yes, and they've been together for 2 years. Yes, but she must have been a great woman to make a great impression like this for him to still leave those pictures up. And it's let him grieve and let him take that time, and then suggest that, what, babe, let's go see somebody. Because, yeah, this is a bothering me a little bit, yeah, but let's go see somebody because you're still grieving. That's why the pictures are all over the place, because you're still grieving. And I think your first wife was a wonderful woman. Clearly she was. I never met her, but clearly she was a wonderful woman. But is it okay if we go see somebody so that you can be able to allow me to be in here and feel comfortable in here, and still you be able to get over it in a sense, or deal with the passing of your wife. It's a ways on how to work that whole scenario where you're able to get your way as a woman, but you're not being, well, I'm in my feelings, I ain't moving in. No, because this man loves you. You love this man. He probably want to marry you if he wants you to move in, whatever. So don't, cut your nose and spite your face. Go ahead and just figure out a whole other way around this, as opposed to, I just want to remove every picture out the house or out of the family, the common areas, and just have them in the children's bedroom. No, don't do that.
So now we have Latoya. She's saying, is he gonna tape a picture of the current love on the ex-wife's tombstone? She said, LOL. Charles
Lord Jesus,
Anderson
I'm
is
gonna talk to
saying
this song.
she is feeling like he's still holding on to the past. He shouldn't let her move in with him until he is over her. She is right. That's his past. She doesn't have to accept that into her future. That's not fair. He is not ready for a relationship. Children will understand if you explain the why she won't accept this. Nobody wants to live with somebody else's ghost. Absolutely. Mark is saying if she is deceased, it shouldn't be a problem with him having the pictures up as a memorial. And if the
Thank
woman
you.
knows that he is truly interested in her, why become insecure over a photo?
I
It's
did.
just he said it's just a photo. It's just
Mm-hmm.
memories. Women do think that some way men do, or maybe after she moved in, after a period of time, he will automatically take them down when he finds a more appropriate place to display them because they are a part of him.
Yeah.
Now,
I,
here's the thing, and I hear that. I understand that. So, like I said, I know the guy, my friend. Here's the thing. He kept those pictures up. He still to this day. Now, this has
Yep, it's
been
crazy.
okay. See, but this is what I'm saying.
That's
So,
different.
he
No,
this has been more than 20, more than I say more than 15 years, and he tells me, you know, he can't believe that, the women that come into his life, that they ask him to remove the pictures. I'm like, well, God dog it, you still got them same pictures up. You done been married, unfortunately, she not here. He's got
But
too
see, his
much.
thing is different. He got a whole shrine. That's different.
Right, but there's
It's one
still
thing to have
pictures,
pictures
right?
around.
But there's still,
No,
but it's like
no,
nobody
no,
has to. Here's the
no, no,
thing.
no, 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 no,
Nobody
no,
has to
no, no,
accept
no.
that. That's some bull junk right
You
there.
try. No, his is not no just pictures. His is a whole like stalker shrine going on. Like no. Like with my client, his is pictures. He has pictures, all of the house, but it's just not of his wife. It's of both of them together.
Right.
It's of the family. But they're all over the house. I just think it's wonderful. Even when he travels, he packs a picture of him and his wife in his suitcase.
Nope.
And she's been gone now it'll be, I think, almost 3 years. Yeah, it's
See,
3
and
years.
that's still, and my thing is, that's still kind of fresh. That's still rather fresh. So
But
it's
your friend, it's 15 years and he's
right.
special.
And he still, but again, you got some people out there, because again, he doesn't see anything wrong with it. He
He
feels
crazy.
like, again, so we got all these crazy folks out here that don't think that there's anything wrong with it. And it's not about the woman being insecure. But here's the thing, it's like, I don't want to live in nobody's shadow. That's just like you talking about an ex all the time. Compare, I'm not fixing to deal with all that bull junk. So whoever want to deal with it, knock yourself out. I'm not going to deal with it. It has nothing to do with being insecure. I'm glad that you loved her and this and that, but that season, that chapter in your life is over. So now it's time to start a new chapter. Let's write our story. But I'm not going to continue off in her story, because I can't. I'm not her. Somebody and I put the post up the other day. Love me how I need to be loved, and not like you love somebody else, not like you used to love. Love me for where I am. You see who I am, love you. And that's what people do. It's like, I think we get into a habit of loving how we've loved in the past. Each relationship is different. You have to
Yeah,
love that person for who they are.
who
You
they
can't
are. Yeah.
love them how you loved the last person that you were with.
But yeah,
They feel like,
you
okay,
can't do
it's
me
right.
how you can't, even when it comes to intimacy, you can't, my body is different from your last ex, whatever.
Right.
You can't do the things that you did to her to me and think that it's going to affect me, that I'm going to enjoy whatever. I'm different. And I'm not going to do to you what I did to my last, because I have to learn you. So
Right.
love me, but love me and learn me first.
Right, because
Then you can really
that
rock me.
tongue trick may have worked
For her,
um
exactly.
for Dr. Doolittle. That he made Dr. Doolittle may have liked that tongue trick. But Mr.
Mm,
Big gonna say, you know what, you gotta come a little something bit
mm.
more than that. Right
I
there.
know that's right.
Amen
But
and
Mr.
thank you on this
Big really, I'm
Thursday
just
night.
saying.
That's what it
Yeah.
is. So it's about being insecure. It's about starting fresh. And again, if he was to say, you know what, I'm not at the place right now. I didn't realize I haven't let this go yet. As a
Yeah.
woman, I can respect that. But for you
Yeah.
to just flat out to deny how I feel, or to say, oh, it's insecure, obviously you don't know
Because
me as well as you think you do.
I think they think it as an insecure move because how it was dealt. I think depending on how she handled it, if she can't, how she came to him, if she came to him in an insecure fashion, or I need to take these pictures down, blah blah blah, then he would be like, wait a minute, she sees what's really going on. But so you got to change your tone when you want things to go your way.
Absolutely.
Even when we're in certain moods, women, we'll ask for things sometimes during sex, because 9 times out of 10 we're going to get what we want because we're in a whole other different sweet, mood or whatever. And now we got them how we want them, so they're going to give in to whatever, it is, whatever. But even if you're not having sex, whatever, and y'all are just talking, it's way easier to get what you want with some sugar opposed to some shit, sugar, honey, iced tea.
Yes, won't
Let's
he
just
do
be
it? Won't
real.
he do it? Won't he do
Yeah.
it? And that is so true. So again, but it's like the good thing is they definitely discuss that, before moving in, opposed to waiting until you move in and now you about to move back out because he won't take the pictures down. You got Mark Smith, he's saying he loved her. So is it considered to be spooky or disrespectful? I mean, I don't even think it's spooky or disrespectful. I'm not gonna deal with it. So it's like I can understand and respect the fact that you haven't let go, or you still need time to grieve. I can definitely understand that. But that at that point, that would be a decision that I have to make. Do I need to remove myself from this situation? Because now I done got stuck on somebody that's still stuck on somebody that's not even here. So those and these things, trust and believe, these can be some very, very, very difficult situations to deal with, because again, you want to be sympathetic and understanding to the loss of this man's loved one. But at the end of the day, if you're talking to me about moving on, then we got to move on together where we're both at peace and we're both happy. But the thing is, it's like if he decided to remove the pictures, but it made him feel some type of way, I still wouldn't want to proceed that way, because I want you to be happy. So now he's moved the pictures to make you happy, but now he's not. So it's like now he's not happy. So now the relationship is not happy, and we not gonna work, because now you're gonna resent me because I made you do something that you didn't want to do. So it's like I never want you to be in a position where you feel you have to choose or do something that's not gonna be conducive for you and how you're feeling. It's like it's something that got to be mutual, and unfortunately, that's a situation that could cause a wedge and tear the couple, behind apart, because it leads to bigger issues and bigger questions being raised that may have not ordinarily have been there. So again,
But see, that's
proceed
where
with caution.
communication comes in. You have to communicate with one another. And if they're not communicating properly and effectively, and really, and she's really not being open and honest about how she really feels, but to be mindful on his feelings and whatever he's going through. But when they both communicate effectively and are able to listen to one another too, then when he does remove those pictures, she won't feel, he won't feel obligated to remove them or pressured, and she won't feel like she's made him feel a certain type of way. He'll be willing and wanting to, because now, okay, I understand where you're coming from, and then she'll say, okay, I understand where you're coming from. So let's just be patient and remove something down, one day at a time or whatever.
We have Charles Anderson. He's saying, look at it. Look, it's like this. You don't bring your past relationships into somebody else's future, because that's not fair to a new future for both parties. I could not have said it better. And here's the
Charles,
thing, dealing with me.
listen, if I die, and me and Charles together and I die, Charles, you remove my picture, I swear to God, I'm coming back to home. Like you girl, every time y'all do it, I'm gonna be up in that room saying boo.
And see, and that's why with me, him removing pictures will be the least of his concerns, because we're gonna have to find a new house to live in, because I cannot live in the same house that you lived in with your late wife or an ex-wife. I'm sorry, I cannot do it. I'm not saying that you have to sell it. I'm saying I cannot move in to that house. We have to find somewhere fresh, because again, you're living in somebody else's space, and I just don't know if I'm not comfortable with that. I mean, it ain't about being insecure. I got my own stuff. It doesn't matter. But I'm not going to feel comfortable with moving into your home that you had with your first family. I'm just not going to be able to do it. That's just me. So the pictures are the least of your concerns. Guys, we're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we're going to get into our next hot topic. But tell me, guys, am I being unreasonable? I want a brand new house. I'm not living in your house that you lived in with your ex. Let us know. Hit me know. Hit us up on Facebook. Let me know what you think. You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Hey guys.
Tall glass of water, kept at 31 degrees. My waist paralyzed by your need. My sweat begins to trickle, liquefying your solid essence. My 98 Fahrenheit rises as my fluids, baptized as your body. Suddenly, you're the cool queen who turns into the hottie. Baby, you're melt, 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 melt. Baby, you melt like the candy held tight within the palm, gasping for air, breathing hard before it becomes creamy. Real hot, real hot, real hot, real steamy, steamy, steamy. Baby, you're melting, melting. Baby, you melt like pineapple snowballs on a hot summer's day as I suck your juicy flavor and you refresh my flesh, sending chills to my brain, a slight tinge of pain. You liquefy like humid air, turn to rain. Baby, you're melting. My thrust is accelerated. My back is agitated by your razor sharp nails. Our body burns from the friction, so as we smoke, I inhale. Baby, baby, you melt, 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 baby, baby, you melt, melt, baby, baby, you melt, melt, baby, 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 you, you melt. You melted all over me like warm butter on hot toast. So I toast, holding my glass high. I propose a toast to you, the one who was so cool. When I looked at you, you made my eyelids turn blue, like the ice that keeps my drinks cool, but no longer, 'cause baby, you melted.
Okay. Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me, oh, it's just me. You guys, E is out tonight. She is not feeling well, but she is tuning in via the telephone, so she'll be calling back shortly. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the J Spot. Also follow us on Twitter at J Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Guys, this portion of the J Spot is being brought to you by Product Max Herbal Toothpaste. Product Max is a new herbal toothpaste company that believes in old-fashioned values. Just as our ancestors did, we believe all natural healing properties come from Mother Earth. So order your tube of Product Max Herbal Toothpaste today. Go to their website, www.productmax.com, and or you can go to their Facebook page at Product Max and order your tube of toothpaste. Compare it to your national leading brand. Hands down, it's better. One use, you're going to feel the difference and you're going to definitely see the difference. When you're ordering, definitely use reference code J, and that's Jaye. If you're interested in advertising your business product or services with the J Spot, email us at jspоtradio@gmail.com. Again, that's jspоtradio@gmail.com. And J is spelled Jaye. Guys, our next hot topic. Listen, we've been talking about moving in and dead people and removing pictures and dating and all this other stuff, removing pictures of your old relationships or your deceased spouses. I took it a step further. I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I would feel comfortable with living in the same house that you shared with a previous family, like your family lived here, or even if it was like a long term, live girlfriend or something like that. I just don't know if I would feel comfortable in sharing that same home that you shared. So I'm like, I don't know. I would probably want us to just get somewhere new. And it's like you should want to get something new for you in your new relationship because you don't want the old. And I know I'm about to sound a little country, but what I'm about to say, but the old jujus, you don't want all of the jujus from the old relationship to come into your new relationship. So why do you want to stay in the same house? You got the old creepy jujus, the old creepy vibes, and the old arguments, and the old bull junk is just in the air, it's in the atmosphere in the house. So why not move somewhere and create new vibes and new jujus and new things of that nature for that relationship? Like, why not do that? I mean, it's to do. Like, I mean, everything is real. It's not always easy to just get up and move to a different house. So, that may be a little bit unrealistic for some people, but we definitely got to do something to create some new jujus. If the walls are purple, we painting them blue or yellow or white or something. We're gonna have to do something different so that the new people involved can feel comfortable, because it's like, I don't know about you, but I don't want to come in and feel like, okay, I'm just another piece of appliance that you're moving into your space. It's like, because people get territorial about their homes and things like that. This is mine. This is my, oh, wait a minute. This is my. Uh, what about we? I'm a we. If we're together, we. If we're not, then okay, you can do the I'm just not moving in. I can't be with somebody that's a I. Everything is centered around you. So you're gonna move and you're gonna make decisions that's best for you, and you're not going to make the decisions that's best for the relationship and you as a couple. So just kind of be mindful of the conversations that people have, that I bullish, because that's really contagious. And that it spills over to a whole lot of areas, and it can get a little sticky when you're dealing with a I thinking type person, because again, the moves that they make will only be conducive for them. They're not going to think about you. They're not going to think about what's best for you. They're not going to think about their well being. If it doesn't align with what they personally want, you'll be out in the cold. So just kind of be mindful of that type of stuff. But we got Mark. He's saying, look, is it that easy to walk away from someone because of photos? Maybe both are being inconsiderate. And then we have Charles. He's saying that that's a mental trap. Nobody wants to deal with someone's ghost. Nobody wants to deal with it. I'm not gonna deal with it. It's some bull junk, and we on to the next hot topic. Guys, listen. Now I'm on some bull junk tonight. I told y'all E ain't here to kick me, so I can talk about whatever I want to talk about. Next hot topic. Can you date or marry someone that slept with a family member, and it was years ago? They slept with one of your siblings. Can you marry that person after having slept with your family member? They were not in a relationship. It was just they were just sleeping together. But that was years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Like, the sibling is married to somebody else, and now you meet this person. Oh, especially with social media. Ooh, it's so easy for people to meet each other's exes. Woo! Sucky now. Woo! But can you date or marry someone that has slept, that has had sexual relations, that has done the Humpty dance, that has done the horizontal mambo with one of your siblings or a close family member? Can you date or marry someone that has done that? I think that is just really disgusting. That's me. You done jugged all up in, no. It's. I don't care how long ago it's been. No, thus far I'm thankful I ain't been through. Listen, I ain't been through none of my family people. No, wrong suspect for that. I'm not gonna be able to. Not gonna be able to deal with it. Now, Mark, you're saying I got an old table that I've eaten every meal with my kids from toddlers till 10 years later. The table is ugly from wear and tear, but when I look at the table, I remember every from my kids. How do you throw it away or replace it? Mark, I'm not saying throw it away. I'm just saying put it in another room, put it in the basement. And if you want to go down there and reminisce about it, definitely, reminisce. But I don't want, those are not my memories. So you're going to be reminiscing off your past. We're trying to move forward. So again, I'm not saying toss it, just put it in another room. But as for me, I'm not gonna do it. But again, you now Latoya, wait, Cole, you're saying, well, is it like a cousin? I'm just saying, a family. Period. Ooh, Cole, you need to stop. Latoya, I couldn't. Thank God I'm the only child. And Mark, you're saying spitefully. What do you mean by spitefully, Mark? But again, listen, dating somebody that's been through your family, that can get really, 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 really sticky. That can get really, really messy, you all, because again, the family member is gonna bring up the time where, oh my God, especially if they somebody messy, they gonna bring up. I mean, they can't wait to get to family gatherings just to. Please, I had him first. Please, she got my sloppy seconds. He got my sloppy seconds. Oh, and don't let it be a petty dude. Ooh, every time you kissing her, you see people just messy. See for no reason at all. So I don't know. I would just say, definitely. No, just don't even do it. It's just it's so too many other people out here to be going through your family's exes, and it's just uncomfortable. And what about baby daddies? You dating your kids baby, your family member baby daddy. Now he done with her over here, so now you dating your cousin's baby daddy, or you sleeping with your cousin. Oh, that can you just say hot mess? That But hey, to each his own, because some people like, well, you ain't responsible for who you fall in love with. The devil. The devil is 12 kinds of lies. Listen, you fall for that bullish if you want to, but no, that one right there, I think that one's going a little bit too far. So I think, just find somebody new. Just, once you find out they done been through your family, whoo, just, kind of move on from that. Mark, you're saying some people date cousins to make the ex angry spitefully. Yes, that's so it's so messy. It's just like your cousin, that's your family. Cousin Pete, that's your family. You can't be doing that. That's just some y'all you kissing because like now y'all real kissing cousins for real. Now y'all slop busting slob and all. No, I just thinking about it is just literally making me sick. So I cannot even imagine this. But again, some people do it. Some people like, listen, that was 10 years ago. That was 20 years ago. I mean, they was young. We was in college. It didn't mean nothing. The fact that they remember and they know it does mean something. Cole, you're saying, Edra, you're saying, I've seen that. Now that is something I couldn't do. I don't want my sister's ex or anything. Mark, you're saying, I know a guy that has kids by two sisters. Oh, Lord. Have they been on Jerry Springer yet? Or Maury, you are not the baby's father. Listen, that is some, it's weird. And it's just, you listen, different folks, different strokes for different folks. Ask me, I just want my own. I have a hard enough time dealing with somebody that ain't nowhere near my family. I don't need to add an extra obstacle to anything that dating is already hard enough as it is. So try adding that on. That's just bound. Listen, go ahead on and break up now. Just save yourself the heartache and trouble because it's gonna end because you're gonna always be arguing. You're gonna always have all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So just go ahead and break up now because save yourself the heartache and pain, guys, because it's just not gonna work about this kissing, being with somebody that, got kids with you. They got kids. Them. So what they calling you? Uncle and daddy? Did you they daddy uncle? Oh, that is so nasty. Daddy, uncle. Daddy. Right. Going. Who? The devil is a liar. Listen now. Oh Lord, I listen. No, 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 no. But you know what? Now some of them nasty son of a guns. Listen, don't try. I'm like, I'm your cousin, okay? Your wife is my cousin. Your girlfriend is my cousin, okay? You nasty son of a gun. Listen. I done had the. Oh Lord. Now, I listen. I cannot even go into all of that because that's just some. Listen, and I will cut you up so fast. I will dice you like an onion. Do not play those type of games with me because I cannot even do it. So no, I'm respecting the family boundary. Plus, again, just for my own sanity, I cannot. I mean, can you? You know the stuff that they doing to you. So now you, of course, you're gonna be thinking like, okay, well, did he do that to her? And she gonna be, oh, no, 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 it's
You
just
thinking
too
too much
much.
into it. That's the thing. You're thinking too much into it. Just, listen. If the guy you dated just happened to, date your mom, 10 years ago.
Nope, not doing it, not doing it, not doing it. I am good. I am good and on the single and shut in list. I am so.
But it was that movie like that. Oh my God. Oh God. With Morris Chester, and he dated this
Yeah,
girl
yes, yes,
yeah, and the Gabrielle Union had dated his daddy and
and
stuff,
that was
and they did
disgusting.
it too. They did it too, and I was like. But he didn't know. But she knew it, and the daddy, but they didn't know until after they had fell in love with one another. So it's not like you dating someone who was like related to you. Because I've seen some sickos do that stuff. Like you my cousin, and I know you my cousin, but we gonna do it. No, we're not gonna do it
No,
because that's
I'm
nasty.
not gonna be able to. That, I mean, that was such. I mean, no. It's like, first of all, that story is going to circulate all through the family. Uncle Woody was with Listerine over here. No, no,
There's a
mm-mm.
movie like that, right? So the movie, the the sister, well, the father wound up sleeping with his daughter, and then that messed her up so bad. So she started sleeping with her brother, and then she wound up going to jail like some years later for whatever. When she got out of prison, she had moved in with with her brother and his wife, and she was dating this one guy. So the guy and the wife wound up going to the gas station to get some tissue, or whatever, or the store to get tissue. And so when the guy came back, he walked in on the sister and the brother screwing in the bedroom, so that he left out. And
Oh,
so when the wife came in, the brother, he had straightened up real quick, and the sister just played like she was asleep in the bed. The wife was like, well, why is, where's so-so? And he said, oh, I put her in the bed because she was asleep. He was like, well, why you put her in our bed? And she's like, well, he was like, she was just tired, whatever, wasn't feeling good, so I just moved her in our bed, and we can sleep in the other bedroom or whatever. But all the while, he had been screwing his sister. So his boy wanted to, holler at the sister, and the sister came to the basketball court one day to pick up the brother, and the boy was like, man, your sister fine. He was like, yeah, I know. Don't even think about it. So dude kissed his sister, slap in the mouth right in front of his
oh,
boy. I was like, ah! And then eventually the wife did find out that the sister and the brother was screwing one another. I was like, what
oh.
the
I promise you, I am so sick. That is so flipping
But
disgusting. I am.
this is the kicker. That was a movie, right? So they had a Facebook page up. So I saw the Facebook page, and then I'm reading comments. So then there's a lady in there, and she says, oh, that's my life because I'm a product of incest. My mother and my father are brother and sister. But
Oh
I
my
said,
god. Oh.
went to her page. She got a picture of her parents up there. I'm just like, that is so nasty. That's
And it's
so
so
nasty.
unfortunate. And now the kids are gonna have all kinds of disabilities that the doctors can't even find out because
Yes.
y'all too close related. It's just a whole bunch of
It's so
craziness
nasty.
that's going on. But guys, we're gonna take a short musical break, and when we
Sure.
return, we're gonna get into tonight's topic: sexual harassment. Woo! You're listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time.
I get so lonely. Can't let no anybody love me. You are the one that lives in me, my dear. I should never feel lonely. You don't ever wanna spend some time. I want your love in every drop of a dime. You see me calling, you should come running. Quit all that stalling. My body's calling. I got downtime. What about hard time? This could be so perfect for one hell of a night. Think you got a secret ease. Henny calling my club. I just wanna slow this on you, baby. We can turn it up. You had to change, no second chances. This love I have is not for play. Under no circumstances, I'm in need of romancing. Pick up the phone, 'cause I get so lonely. Can't let no anybody love me. You are the one that lives in me, my dear. I should never feel lonely. Lately your love has been on my mind. Obviously busy, I wanna unwind. Fantasizing, thinking about you. Imagine all I could. Anticipating it's about to go down. I get so lonely. Don't leave me waiting up for you. I get so lonely. You had to change, no second chances. This love I have is not for play. Under no circumstances, I'm in need of romancing. Pick up the phone, 'cause I get so I get so
Welcome back to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me, guys, E is not in tonight. She's not feeling well, but she'll definitely join us again via the phone. So we're going to keep her lifted and send positive vibes to her. Hey, E, woo, 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 woo. Sending positive vibes. Thank you so much to our co-host, our cyber co-host, Monica. She's holding it down behind the scenes. Guys, we have definitely a special in studio guest with us tonight. We have Mr. I Said It Callahan, or is it Callahan?
Celebrity interviewer, I said it, the poet.
Okay, I Said It, the poet
Mhm.
is here with us tonight. How you doing tonight?
I'm great, Queen. How are you?
I'm doing great. Can't complain. Scoot up some so that everybody can hear you.
Okay.
Do me a favor. Tell us a little about yourself and what you got going on and how people can get in contact with you.
Definitely, I definitely want to say thank you, for having me on the show tonight.
No problem. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Again, my name is Celebrity Interviewer. I said it, the poet, and I do represent I Said It Management. I'm founder of that company that I founded 3 years ago, where I conduct events, I do graphic designs, and I conduct my interviews underneath that company. I've also been affiliated with the Chicago Bridge magazine going on now 18 years, which I'm very proud of. And the Chicago Bridge magazine is a music entertainment publication based out of Chicago and now Atlanta as well. We have our own printing company, and we just have been helping a lot of artists over the years highlight themselves and highlight people in business like yourself and things of that nature.
Okay, so how can people get in contact with you?
Well, I'm very simple to contact. You can either hit my inbox at I Said It Callahan II, or at any time you can actually email me at isaidit.mc. That's spelled ISAIDIT.mc@gmail.com.
So do you have any upcoming events that you got going on?
Yeah, most definitely. I don't have a date secured yet, but it's definitely going to happen. Before the end of this year, I will be conducting a third annual Tribute to Women event tour, and that's presented by my company, I Say the Management, sponsored by Chicago Bridge Magazine. And as of now, it's going to be held at River Oaks Mall, right beside J.C. Penney's at A friend of mine who I've been doing a lot of business with lately, and his company is called Smart and Chill. So shout out to my guy Sean. You know, shout out Smart and Chill.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll definitely have that information posted on our page at the J Spot, also on our Twitter page at J Spot, and also on Instagram at the J Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Guys, this portion of the J Spot is brought to you by Product Max Herbal Toothpaste. Product Max is a new herbal toothpaste company that believes in old fashioned values. Just as our ancestors did, we believe that all natural healing properties come from Mother Earth. So definitely order a tube of their toothpaste. Compare it to your national leading brand. I promise you, after one use, you will totally discard the national leading brand and you will just be like, what have I been doing to my teeth all these years? Because Max does not have fluoride. Do your research on fluoride because fluoride is definitely unhealthy for us. So, and a lot of products have fluoride in it. So, definitely do your research on fluoride. Again, you can definitely order a tube of their toothpaste at ProdentMax.com and use reference code J, and that's JAYE. Also, if you are interested in advertising your business, product, or services with the J Spot, please email us at jspotradio@gmail.com. Again, that's jspotradio@gmail.com, and J is spelled JAYE. Guys, tonight we are talking about something very serious, sexual harassment. Talking about sexual harassment on tonight. Okay, so in your opinion, I said it, what is sexual harassment? In your
In
opinion, what
my
is
opinion, I would say, off the top of my head, sexual harassment is something to where you make someone feel uncomfortable in their environment.
okay? Now, guys, according to an online source, sexual harassment is unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature constitutes sexual harassment when submission to or rejection of this conduct explicitly or implicitly affects an individual's employment, unreasonably interferes with an individual's work performance, or creates an intimidating, hostile, or offensive work environment. In order for the harassment to be considered unlawful, it has to be so frequent or severe that it creates a hostile or offensive work environment, and as a result, and it results in an adverse employment decision, like the victim being fired, demoted, or even makes them quit. Like they feel so uncomfortable and they dread going to work that they just quit as a result of being harassed. But given this broad definition, it's not surprising that sexual harassment comes in many forms. Now, the following are just some examples of what sexual harassment could look like. Just some examples on kind of get you in a frame of mind of what it is. The first one is a supervisor implies to an employee that the employee must sleep with him or her to keep their job. A sales clerk makes demeaning comments about female customers to his coworkers. Man, ooh, I tap that. I make her do this. Okay, watch it with those type of comments. An office manager in a law firm is made uncomfortable by lawyers who regularly tell sexually explicit jokes. Every day you're going up in there talking about somebody sucked this, somebody touching this. Listen, don't nobody want to hear all that every day. Keep that bullish to yourself. Like if you know people are not responding, or you can kind of tell when you're saying something that's making people feel uncomfortable. So just kind of be aware of when you one of those people that just be firing off and saying all kinds of crap, kind of take that in mind. A cashier at a store pinches and fondles a coworker against his or her will. Keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch me. You know what? That's one thing I hate. Do not touch me. Don't hug me. Don't come in my personal space unless I invite you there. Are you like when you talk to people? Are you? Because some people are touchy people. Don't touch me.
Right.
Don't touch me. I don't like to touch me. Just don't touch me. But what are you like? How do you feel like if people get in your personal space? Are you intimidated by people getting in your male or female? Like, are you intimidated, or do you feel like okay, you're just comfortable with people, kind of getting in your space?
Well, definitely, you should protect your space, protect your energy. That's very important. People carry different types of energies and things of that nature. So I do try to protect my energy. At the same time, I try to keep it balanced and stay welcoming to people to embrace me because I know I inspire people, and you never know how what you say or what you do may influence people and how that affects them. And so they want to embrace you sometimes when they see you. So I don't want to so-called stop them from that because that's that first impression, and first impression, last impressions is very important to me. And so I don't want to offend anyone by, like, if they try to come up and hug me, it's I just kind of fill them out.
Right.
It's based on the situation, I would say.
Right. Well, me personally, like, I can be real stickler because I prefer handshakes, but I like most of the because some people like, especially, and I'm gonna tell you how I got like this in the church. Like, sometimes everybody coming hugging, they giving a sloppy old deacon. Listen, no, just don't. So as a general rule of thumb, I just don't want to hug because I'm gonna end up being rude because you're doing too much. Okay, you're just doing entirely too much. So that's just me. But again, like you say, you gotta feel a person out and feel their vibes out and see, how they will feel. Like, is the hug, is it welcome or is it kind of forced? Like Mr. Winfrey, I told him I just poke him with something sharp. Do not just shake my hand. We've been working together for a long time, but just like shake my hand or send me an email or inbox and just say hi. But just like he can't hug me. Like, just don't hug me. Just send me an email. I just already told him that. Like, don't hug me. Just, buy me a cup of coffee. I'll take that as a hi. Have a donut waiting for me when I get in. I'll take that. Those are kind, welcoming gestures, but don't hug me. I'm just like, I'm real funny about my space. But the other one is a secretary coworker belittle her and refer to her by her sexy demeanors or demeaning terms. Oh, no, I'm talking about the one with the big titties. No, I'm talking about the one with the big butt. Listen, you cannot be making those type of, references to people in the workplace when you are describing people, because here's the thing with sexual harassment, it doesn't even have to be that person that you're referring to. If I hear you referring to a coworker as that chick with the big butt or that chick with the big titties or something like that, I can file sexual harassment because what you said is offensive to me. Even though she may not have heard it, I heard it and you offended me. So now I can file sexual harassment because I was uncomfortable by the comments that you made. So you guys, you got to be very, very mindful. It is law. Check the laws. The sexual harassment laws differ from state to state. So definitely check into that. But from my general understanding from sexual harassment, even if you may be at lunch talking to your boys and y'all talking about, somebody that you work with. And if listening Hayden Betty hear you talking about old girl in the mailroom, her butt and her titties big, she can report you to HR, and you can be disciplined because now she feels that that's sexual harassment, even though you were not talking to her or about her, but she heard what you said. She can report you because she's offended. So that's what sexual harassment is. It's making a person feel uncomfortable by things that you say or do. So kind of be mindful for that kind of ish.
I totally agree. Excuse me. I
Go ahead.
totally agree to everything that you're saying. I mean, and me personally, I've had a lot of jobs and I've had a lot of experiences to where, conversations with guys, and then I'll just walk away when the conversation gets too sexual, so
Hmm.
be because a lot of guys is traditional almost, and I'm sure it's traditional with women too. You all have your own conversations about men maybe you've been with. Men have conversations about women they've been with, but I would like to have conversations like that. I don't have conversations with that at all publicly, because like you just said and like you read previously, anyone can be offended by something that you say. So you have to be very mindful at all times of what you're saying, because the person you least expect is like listening, and you never know when they listen. And to be specific, when you see any women around, just don't have that conversation.
Well, and so now we have Ezra. She's saying, "Wow, did you say titties? Ooh, yeah, I did. Titty, 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 titty. Breastises, 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 breastises. White meat, white meat, white meat, white meat. Hot sauce, hot sauce. Yes, I said titties. But God, listen. An employee sends emails to coworkers that contain sexually explicit languages and jokes. Listen, y'all don't be using these companies' emails and stuff anyway because they hacking into everything. They see everything. Everything goes through a third party filter before it is even delivered. So stay off those people emails and they servers because you're gonna mess around and lose your job because you're trying to share this funny meme off Facebook and then you lose your job because they intercepted that nasty ish. So stay off of these people's stuff. The conduct of the offender must be offensive and unwelcome by the victim. So again, the person that hear it, it may not have been intended for them, but if somebody is offended, you could be in some trouble. Just know this. Now, here's the thing: harassment may still occur when there is no economic injury or discharge of the victim. So it's still sexual harassment again, even if nothing, nobody loses their job or nobody is reprimanded or anything. It's still, if it's offensive, it can be sexual harassment. Now, let me ask this. The last thing is the victim and harasser may identify as any gender. The victim does not have to be of any specific gender identity. If you say anything that a person considers offensive, it could be considered sexual harassment. We are living in different day and time where there's just a whole bunch of ish going on. So I would say this: just keep certain conversations out of the workplace. Just so there will be no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And keep it off of your social media because, again, your employers are looking at your behavior on social media as well. And if you are being a butthole on social media, saying all this offensive stuff, that could come back to bite you in the behind during the workday. So definitely be mindful of that. Have you ever been the victim of any type of sexual harassment? And Facebook, has anybody in the feed ever been the victim of any type of sexual harassment?
I definitely have. I have women that flirt with me
You've
sometimes,
been a victim of
but
sexual harassment.
I have been a victim.
Woo, shut your mouth. Wait.
Because I'm a man, and this the thing, and I definitely side with women. Let that be known firsthand. But as a man, we feel uncomfortable like trying to go to a boss. It's like you're not even taken seriously if you go to HR.
Right.
Like, oh, girl was just saying something about how I look at my gray jogging pants. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't take that
Wait a
seriously.
minute.
But so like traditionally, like men don't even like saying, we don't speak up because what I'm saying, we're not taken seriously. You know what I mean? At
Wait
all.
a minute. Wait. I'm so somebody said something to you about some great job.
Yeah, like I wear my, what I mean? I
Ooh.
play ball, so sometimes I try to prepare, what I'm saying, the next day when I go play ball after work, I want to have my
Right,
clothes
as
have already on.
professional as you are, and
Right.
somebody getting grimy with you.
All the time. It don't take long.
Ooh, you all ought to be
And
ashamed
all you
of
can do is,
yourselves.
shake your head and ignore them, you know what I mean, and not play into it because it's set up.
Ooh,
You know what I mean?
well,
Because when you respond to them, you may say something thinking that they flirt and it's an open flirt conversation. That's you would get nailed to the cross. So I choose not to even respond. I'll just
see,
walk away or maybe grin or something like that. Or you know,
See, my thing is now I've been in a situation where I felt like it was definitely sexual harassment. Now, see, me, I'm passive aggressive, so you can only get away with that ish for so long, and then somebody gonna get cut, and that's just how it's gonna be. So this guy will always make these sexual references, sexual references. At first, we used to be cool and we used to talk and everything, but then I noticed like everything was just always about sex. So I just stopped talking to him. And then I'm like, you know what? He got one more time and I'm just going to clean cut him. And then that's just going to be it. And then now I'm going to be in trouble, but you doing too much. So I told him one day, don't let your mouth get your, and then we're gonna take a break because my mama in the feed. But I'm like, I got somebody that's gonna handle you. You keep on saying what you saying and watch and see what happen. When watch and see what happen. What you talk about? What you say? One more thing. Watch. one more thing about my butt. Anything, say one more thing. We've been cool ever since. Hey, we gravy now. Like it's like all good because I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna play no games with you. You're not about to have me because I felt very uncomfortable. I'm like, every time it's a comment about your butt, this and that, she think, and see now, and that's where the passive aggressive, because the passive part, I was letting it go, but it's only two speeds with me, 0 or 100. I was at 0. I was trying to be at 0 for as long as I could, but then that final straw, it took me to 100. Now I'm ready to get you jumped on. I'm ready to just get you dealt with right out in the parking lot because you're doing too much and you know you're doing too much. So be you guys be mindful of that. But again, you gotta speak up though. Don't do what I did. Don't get ready to cut somebody. You gotta speak up and you gotta nip it in the bud. You gotta let people know, listen, I don't like what you're saying. I'm offended by what you're saying. I'm offended by what you're doing. Stop it. If they don't stop, I would say give them, just try to, get them to see it. But if they're not seeing it, then you have to report them. You have, because there's no reason you should feel uncomfortable in the workplace or any other place where a person may be, sexually harassing you. You don't have to accept that bullish. I don't care how you shape, what you dress like. Now, I will say this.
Yeah, I would.
Let me say this now, ladies. Listen, I know you're gonna get mad and all this Me Too and all this other bull junk, but listen what I'm about to say. Some things that you do wear, will cause. Listen, wear some bummy stuff. You may not have a problem, but if you wearing all this revealing stuff, all this all out, everything is, of course, people are going to look. Of course, they're going to ogle. Of course, they're going to say inappropriate things. So it's like, is it right? No. But what I'm saying is use your better judgment. If you don't want people saying, you got to tone. Listen, don't say this is victim blaming and all this other bull junk. Listen, we know why we dress the way we dress. We wear certain things to get attention. Let's just put that ish out there. You wear certain things because you know it's going to create a certain type of reaction and you're looking from that reaction. Don't be mad if you don't get the reaction from the person that you're trying to get that reaction from. But you're gonna get a reaction. That's just facts. I don't care what you say, email me, block me, take me out, whatever, but it's real. So let's not act like, oh well, I would have split up to my butt and I didn't think anybody was gonna say it. Listen, unless you looking like Bamboozle Methuselah and he don't see you from the front, if all he see is the back, you're gonna get the cattle call. You're gonna get all those. But then when he look around, you turn around, he gonna be like, "Oh no, no, I wasn't talking about you. No, she gone now. She gone around the corner because the front what he thought was going on from the back." So I'm just saying, so let's not play this type of game like we don't know what we putting on and all of this other stuff. Have you ever experienced that? Like, have you ever said anything inappropriate that could have been taken as sexual harassment?
No, I don't say anything inappropriate.
You
I have good discipline. I grew up with two older sisters. I have no brothers, so I looked up
Oh,
to women raised by women. I know how to treat women. I know how to act appropriately around women. Now, it's funny that you had said what you said about the dress because we're definitely on the same accord. I was already about to, try to segue my way in to talk about how women can set you up for sexual harassment. So, my brothers, men, be careful. You know what I'm saying? Only because, like Miss Jay said, you know what I'm saying? Only because a woman wears what she chooses to wear, she has the prerogative to wear whatever she want to wear. Staring can also be considered sexual harassment. Let that be known. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't fall for the okie doke. You know what I mean? You can glance, whatever like that. Obviously, there's a lot of beautiful women out here, that nature, but, staring and things of that nature be considered, sexual harassment. So don't be staring and, googly ass stalking and stuff like that. You know what I mean? She will go to HR on you.
and see, my thing is this. So, like, for me, I know, like, when I put on certain things, sometimes, and I try not to do all of that because, listen, I don't feel like all that. And sometimes I admit I can have a bad attitude. So, you fire at me, I'm firing back. And you just don't even know how deep this fire can go. So, like, so to calm it down, so, like, I try to, avoid, just wearing certain type of things because I'm gonna go off. But I do know that, Listen, I'm thankful. I got it. I ain't gonna lie. I know. I'm thankful. Look at me how you want to, whatever, Mr. Winfrey. I know. At the same time, I know that just being real, I know that it's certain things. If I put it on, it's about to be some bull junk. And if I don't feel like dealing with it, I just, it can come from people that you welcome it from or people that you don't. And so it's like, if I don't feel like dealing with it, I just, I dress accordingly. Let me just say that I'm gonna dress accordingly because 9 times out of 10, I don't feel like dealing with it. And so let's not just don't put yourself in position as best as possible. See, now when I'm at work, I ain't got to worry about being sexually harassed. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Trust me, at 5 o'clock in the morning, I don't look like this. I look like, Dad, you came to work like that? Absolutely. As long as you don't smell me, I'm a breath. Listen, I'm here and I'm here on time. I can't promise you nothing else. At 5 o'clock in the morning, I can't promise you that. Okay. So I ain't got to worry about sexual harassment at work, even though some of them, the ladies that like the ladies, they kind of be, whew, y'all kind of scam me a little bit. Okay. But be mindful. You got to be mindful for yourself. You can't put everything off on the other person. You got to take your responsibility for your actions as well. Because again, we know that certain things that we wear is going to get attention. That's just like you now, with the jogging pants, they're going to be after you. So if you don't feel like, is it right? Absolutely not. But you know that if you don't feel like dealing with that bullish, I ain't even finna wear these jogging pants today because I don't even feel like dealing with these chicks today. I ain't even finna wear it. But
and
then some days you like, okay, whatever. I'm not finna deal with it, but I'm finna wear my jogging pants.
and take it to exception. I'm wearing shorts underneath. It's not just like just jogging pants over, my undergarments, whatever like that. It's I have shorts on underneath
Right.
my jogging pants. It's just they looking so hard. They paying attention to me so much. They looking for something. You know what I
Y'all
mean? Just
stop
like
paying attention and looking that hard at this brother and let this brother do his job without y'all all oogling, ogling at him and his gray jogging pants. So let this man do his job, please and thank you. Okay, so we're gonna settle that for you real quick. Now, is it possible? Okay, let me just make this disclaimer. Church and all this other stuff. Listen, do not email me about you the devil and all this other stuff because you the devil too. If you on here and you about to judge what I'm about to say, so you the devil and tell them I said hi because you wrong for what you about to say and think.
mm,
Now, is it possible to be sexually harassed at church?
mm.
Is it possible, in your opinion?
I feel like it's possible to be sexually harassed anywhere from the church house to the, what I'm saying, to the grocery store. Anywhere. Yes.
You guys, I totally believe that it's like you said, anywhere. And the church is no exception. So you guys, you got to stop putting your guards down everywhere because it's like we, especially when it's dealing with your kids, you just let the kids just run free and clear through the church and all this and that.
Mm.
Listen, everybody is at the church and everybody in the church ain't saved. Everybody in the church ain't right. You got to watch your kids. I don't listen. The devil could be sitting right there, right next to the right in the next pew from you. You got to watch. The Bible say watch as well as pray. So you have to watch and don't be trusting your kids with just any and everybody because they got schools. You could have went to school to get your title. Just because you got a title don't mean that you were called of God. So watch your kids. Don't be trusting your kids with everybody. Don't be letting them go spend a night over these people's houses and they listen because everybody ain't right. That's all I'm gonna say is everybody ain't right. And if you don't like what I just said about the church and the people in the church, please feel free to unfriend me because you may be that person that's in the church that's not right. But I'm saying don't trust your kids to everybody and watch yourself. Watch what's going on. You can't be all sending everything with everybody, especially again with your kids. You cannot be putting your kids out there. Oh, we in church. They gonna be okay. Listen, if I had a little baby, I'd be right there just watching everything. You take no, don't give her no cookies. Don't give and you got to teach your kids. Don't let people touch on you. Don't accept these little goodies and all that because you you can trick these little kids up, with candies and sweet things and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Teach your kids at home. Teach them how to watch. Teach them the proper names for their body parts. Teach them appropriate and inappropriate touch. You got to teach your kids as soon as they get the comprehension and understanding. You got to start teaching them because people are crazy everywhere. The store, church, your job, the gym, everywhere. Getting on the school bus, you have to watch and you have to teach your children to watch as well. So definitely be mindful. Now, how do you
Absolutely.
determine sexual harassment versus unwelcomed flirting? Now, here's the thing, ladies. Now, listen, I'm going to be real with y'all. Let's talk now. Let's talk heart to heart. We're going to listen. If he's trying to holler at you and he's trying to shoot his best shot, don't go trying to report the man for sexual harassment because he liking you and he's trying to shoot his shot. So be mindful on them shooting a shot versus sexual harassment because that's a very, very, very serious claim in a job just because he's trying to shoot his shot and he ain't got a chance and he ain't got a chance. Just tell him, bruh, fall back. This ain't this right here. This amusement park, it ain't for you.
Mhm.
Okay, keep it moving. Let them know. Don't sit up there. Oh, now you sending emails and you don't even have to do all that. So we got to be able to determine and distinguish sexual harassment versus unwanted flirting. I mean, I'm like, listen, dude, you ain't got a chance. Fall back. That's all. Just fall back and look. Let him know. Fall back. He gonna stop. Just tell him. I ain't feeling you. You can send your brother or your father over, but you or your boy, I saw your boy, y'all. I saw your boy. You can send your boy over, but you don't qualify. Bye. You gotta say stuff like this. Don't cost the man his job and now his reputation and now all kinds of stuff because you didn't handle it right. He was trying. He thought he was throwing his best game down.
Right.
Now you
And,
done caused him sexual
and
harassment.
excuse me, like sometimes, a guy may insinuate to see if if you married, if you single, you know what I'm saying? That's not sexual harassment if a man just asks, if you single, you married. Like he trying not to be, he don't want to be disrespectful. That's why he's asking you, are you single? Are you married? But if you don't answer the question and maybe bypass that and maybe want to go flirt back and then you go and then a woman runs to HR, like I'm a married woman. Like how did he know? You never told him. You never so like you say, it's very important to continue to communicate and say exactly how you feel and let them know like it ain't nothing moving over here if that's the case.
Right. Let them know. Like I said, it's just, it's simple to let them know. And a lot of times when you let them know, they're done. Like, oh, okay, she married or whatever, she not interested, whatever. But some people be so quick to send a listen, you ain't even told them. Get a man a chance to leave you alone and go bug somebody else, so let them know. But according to an online source, here are a few signs that could help you determine if you're being sexually harassed. Okay, the first one is you experience behavior of a sexual nature that makes you feel uncomfortable. They keep looking at or commenting on your body in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable. There's a difference between saying that's a nice dress and that dress, you that dress is kicking, oh, it's showing everything the good Lord blessed you with. Woo! Girl, you don't know what that dress is doing to me. Come on, too much, too much, too much. But ladies, keep in mind, if he's saying that about that dress, you may want to think twice about wearing that dress again because that probably won't be the last time you hear that comment. You're unable to make them stop. They keep doing the same or saying the same things that you've let them know that makes you feel uncomfortable. They keep doing it. That may be a sign now they're intentionally sexually harassing you versus flirting with you. You feel pressure to go along with it. Now, this could be somebody that has high position and they're telling, they're flirting with you or they're saying aggressive things that make you feel uncomfortable, but you're scared to say something because you feel like you may lose your job if you say something. You could be, being sexually harassed. And then you feel repercussions if you speak up. So again, if you feel like you're afraid to say something, because they're making you feel uncomfortable, you feel like you're going to lose your job or you're going to get in trouble, you could be experiencing sexual harassment. So again, if you feel offended by something, definitely speak up, but tell that person first, give them a chance to, stop doing what's making you feel uncomfortable before you go to report them. But if you feel that you are being sexually harassed at work, here's something that you can do. You can consult your employee handbook for the policies to see if your employer has the method or have some policies and procedures set up for you to properly, handle being sexually harassed. And if not, then definitely check out the EEOC's website on sexual harassment. Each state has different laws, rules, and regulations set up on how to handle and deal with sexual harassment in the workplace. But at no time should you ever feel uncomfortable being in the workplace. So, again, first you need to let the person know that what they're doing or saying, you don't like it. And if they don't stop that, then you take it to your supervisor. And if they don't do anything from that point, then you definitely take it to the EEOC. But guys, listen, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. You've been listening to the J Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on intellectualradio.com. We are an iHeart station. Want to thank my guest, Mr. I Said It celebrity interviewer I Said It Callahan, for joining us on tonight. Guys, we thank you so much. We will see you all next week. Peace out.
Peace. Shout
Good
out to
night.
Du-
Thank you for hitting the J Spot on intellectualradio.com.